Macedonia. Oh, Macedonia. Count your days. What you did was low down. You understand what you did was low down? That was low down. You see, let me say something. The church is supposed to be a hospital for the broken. A safe place for people to heal, grow, and worship God freely. But far too often, the very ones who stand in the pulpit misuse their authority and turn God's house into a place of shame, control, and pride. What recently happened at Macedonia Worship Center in Houston with Pastor Cassandra Pope is a prime example of why so many people are walking away from the church, like me. Instead of leading with love, grace, and humility, she chose to fire a song leader in the praise team and then openly rebuke a member named Mahogany in front of everyone. That's not leadership. That's abuse of authority. That's not correction in love. That's public humiliation. That was a wrongful rebuke. The Bible makes it clear in Galatians 6:1 that if someone is overtaken in a fault, you who are spiritual should restore them in the spirit of meekness. That means correction should be private, gentle, and aimed at healing, not tearing down. But what we see in situations like this is the exact opposite. Leaders using the pulpit as a weapon to flex power and embarrass members. That's what we're doing. That's why many call them pulpit pimps. Because they exploit the people instead of serving the people. They thrive off control and intimidation instead of humility and service. You see, Jesus never shamed people publicly to prove his authority. He spoke truth, yes, but always with love and compassion. Even when the woman caught in adultery was thrown at his feet, he didn't rebuke her in front of the crowd to embarrass her. Instead, he covered her, protected her from harm, and told her to go and sin no more. That's the example true shepherds should follow. When leaders choose ego over empathy, they cause lasting damage. Members like Mahogany, who come with a sincere heart to serve God, get wounded in the very place that's supposed to be their refuge. This is why we see churches empty now. Why people are choosing to seek God outside the walls of religion. They tired of being hurt by pastors who think the pulpit is their throne instead of God's platform. Church hurt is real. And it's not because of God. It's because of man's misuse of God's name for control. The sad reality is that many pastors today are more concerned about image, power, and titles than they are about souls. They forget that the same God they claim to serve is watching how they treat his people. Matthew 23 warns against this kind of leadership. Leaders who put heavy burdens on others but won't lift a finger to help. The truth is, God never called anyone to lord over his people with cruelty. Shepherds are supposed to guide, feed, and protect the flock, not devour it. Publicly humiliating a member is not ministry. I'm sorry. It is spiritual abuse. And until the church gets back to true servant leadership, people will keep leaving. Not because they don't love God, but because they can no longer tolerate the toxicity coming from the pulpit. As I watched that video, Mahogany was humble. Mahogany hugged her praise team. Mahogany left after being called fake. You see that pastor, Miss Cassandra? She wasn't doing what God said do. She was in her flesh. She was letting ego do the thing. You feel me? But that's okay because God sit high and he looked low. That was her test. And that was Mahogany's test. Now you tell me who failed and who passed. Because if you ask me, I think Mahogany passed the test. Like she said, it is well in her soul. And just like old Pastor Cassandra want to go ahead and quote Psalms 23. Lady, let me tell you something. What you did was low down and dirty. And God gonna get you for that. And you see that old husband of yours who stood there talking about I'ma stand up for my wife? He should have openly rebuked you. I said what I said. He should have openly rebuked you. Yeah, he should have. See, you need to know your place. I don't know if you're the pastor of the church, the first lady. I don't know if he the apostle, the bishop, whatever, who run what. But lady, you know what? I'm gonna be quiet. Mahogany, I believe deep down in my heart, you handled the situation the way you were supposed to handle that situation. If you ever see this video, you handled the situation the way you should have. And they gonna get theirs. They gonna get theirs. So y'all, this is the assignment. And the lesson is, before you think to openly rebuke somebody, make sure you rebuking them for something that they did, like false teaching, or maybe a sin, but not a hug. Because I didn't hug you the right way. You want to openly rebuke me and then call me fake and then say you can go on and sing or you can go on and leave, baby. After you just told me that I wasn't getting my money, my coins, and I still stood up here to sing. I wasn't doing it for you. I was doing it for the glory and the honor of the Lord. But because you want to call somebody fake and want to say you cleaning the house, let me get up on out of here before this thing catch up on fire. With that being said, this is Miss T Talking Tea. As usual, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the videos. Bye.